Welcome to Wild Wisdom. Today, we explore life according to a sloth. High above the forest floor, where the leaves sway softly in the warm jungle air, a sloth slowly opens its eyes. Not because an alarm rang. Not because it is late. Not because the world demands something from it. It wakes simply because the sun has arrived. Golden light filters through the canopy. Morning mist rises slowly from the jungle below. Somewhere in the distance, birds announce the beginning of another day in the rainforest. Curled gently against its chest, a baby sloth clings to its mother, safe among the branches high above the jungle floor. For months, the little one will remain close to her, learning which leaves to eat, how to climb, and how to survive in a world that never stops moving. Even in the wild, life begins with patience. Far below, humans rush through their lives, chasing clocks, answering notifications, worrying about tomorrow before today has even begun. But the sloth knows nothing about deadlines. And perhaps that is its secret. The world that never stops. The modern world moves quickly. Cars race through crowded streets. Phones vibrate endlessly. Screens glow late into the night while millions of minds struggle to rest. People hurry through meals. Hurry through conversations. Hurry through entire years of their lives. Many wake up already exhausted. Not because they climbed mountains or crossed forests, but because their thoughts never stopped running. Humans have become creatures of urgency. There is always another task, another message, another expectation waiting just around the corner. Even moments of rest are often interrupted by anxiety. But high above the chaos, the sloth continues moving through life at its own pace. Unbothered, unhurried, almost untouched by the frantic rhythm below. To humans, that slowness may seem strange. But in nature, rushing is not always wisdom. Sometimes, survival belongs to the calm. The wisdom of slow living. A sloth moves slowly not because it is lazy, but because it understands something the rest of the world has forgotten. Not everything needs to happen quickly. Its body was designed for conservation. Every movement costs energy, and energy is precious in the rainforest. The leaves sloths eat contain very little nutrition. Digestion itself can take days. So the sloth evolved differently from most animals. Instead of speed, it mastered efficiency. Instead of panic, it chose patience. And somehow, this quiet strategy has allowed sloths to survive for millions of years. Nature rarely wastes energy. Trees do not rush to grow overnight. Rivers do not force themselves toward the ocean. Even the sunrise arrives gradually. Perhaps humans are the only creatures constantly trying to outrun time itself. But time cannot be defeated. The sloth seems to know this already. Rain above the canopy. Rain begins to fall over the jungle. At first, only a few drops touch the leaves. Then the sky opens. Water crashes through the canopy in silver streams while thunder rolls across the forest like distant drums. Birds disappear into shelter. Monkeys leap between branches searching for cover. The rainforest transforms into a world of mist, movement, and sound. And still, the sloth does not hurry. Rain slides gently through its fur while the branch beneath it sways in the wind. It does not complain about the storm. It does not fight against the rain. It simply allows the moment to exist. There is something deeply peaceful in that acceptance. Humans spend so much of life resisting reality, fighting delays, fighting change, fighting uncertainty. But the sloth understands a quieter truth. Some storms are meant to be endured, not controlled. A mother and her child. The baby sloth watches silently from the safety of its mother's arms. Its tiny claws cling carefully to her fur while the jungle moves around them. For the young sloth, every day is a lesson. Not taught through words, but through quiet example. The mother teaches patience simply by living. She teaches calmness during storms. She teaches caution with every careful movement through the trees. There are no loud instructions in the rainforest. No speeches. No lectures. Only presence. Only rhythm. Only trust. The little one learns that survival is not always about strength or speed. Sometimes, survival is about remaining still long enough to understand the world around you. And perhaps humans once understood this too. Perhaps long ago, before cities and machines, people also learned from silence. From rivers. From forests. From the slow movement of clouds across the sky. The forgotten art of rest. The sloth spends much of its life resting. To some humans, that sounds like wasted time. But perhaps the real tragedy is a world that no longer knows how to rest at all. Many people feel guilty when they stop working. Even during vacations, their minds remain crowded with unfinished thoughts. Productivity has become a measure of worth. People are praised for exhaustion, celebrated for overworking, admired for sacrificing sleep. But the body remembers what the mind tries to ignore. Stress lingers. Fatigue accumulates. And slowly, people begin forgetting what peace feels like. The sloth carries no guilt for resting. When it sleeps, it truly sleeps. When it pauses, it truly pauses. It does not apologize for existing slowly. And maybe that is why watching a sloth feels strangely comforting. Somewhere deep inside, humans recognize a rhythm they lost long ago. What humans lost. Perhaps humans were never meant to live at the speed they created. Cities glow all night as if darkness itself became unacceptable. Notifications arrive every minute. Silence has become uncomfortable. People fear missing out. Fear falling behind. Fear becoming invisible in a world constantly demanding movement. But the rainforest does not fear stillness. The trees do not compete with one another. The rivers do not rush because another river moves faster. Nature understands balance. And balance cannot exist without pause. The sloth remains untouched by the race humans invented. It does not compare itself to other animals. It does not dream of becoming faster. It does not panic because another creature climbed higher. It simply exists. And somehow, in a world obsessed with speed, that feels almost revolutionary. The jungle at dusk. As the sun begins to disappear behind the endless green horizon, the rainforest changes once again. Golden light becomes orange. Orange becomes deep blue. The jungle exhales into evening. Birds cross the sky before nightfall. Insects awaken beneath the leaves. Somewhere in the distance, frogs begin their nightly chorus. The sloth watches quietly from its branch. The baby rests safely against its chest. There is no urgency in the fading light. No fear of tomorrow. Only the gentle rhythm of another day ending exactly as it should. Humans often treat silence as emptiness. But the jungle knows better. Silence is never empty. It is filled with breathing leaves, distant wings, hidden creatures, and the quiet pulse of life itself. And in the middle of it all, the sloth remains calm. What the sloth teaches us. Perhaps the sloth is not teaching humans how to move slower. Perhaps it is teaching them how to live more carefully, to notice small things, to stop confusing urgency with importance, to understand that rest is not weakness, that peace is not laziness, that life does not always need to be optimized. Move when it matters. Rest without guilt. Protect the ones you love. Listen to the rain. Watch the light dance through the leaves. Let some things take time. Because life is not always a race toward the next destination. Sometimes life is simply the branch beneath you, gently swaying in the wind. The last quiet lesson. Night slowly covers the rainforest. Stars appear above the canopy while the sounds of the jungle continue beneath the darkness. And still, the sloth hangs peacefully among the branches. Unconcerned with tomorrow. Unafraid of silence. At peace with the rhythm of the world around it. Perhaps that is why humans are drawn to creatures like the sloth. Not because they are slow, but because they remind us of something we lost. The ability to simply be. To exist without constantly rushing toward the next thing. To feel the wind. To hear the rain. To watch sunlight move across the leaves. And maybe, somewhere deep inside every exhausted human heart, there is still a small part longing to return to that forgotten rhythm. A quieter rhythm. A gentler rhythm. The rhythm of the wild. Thank you for watching. See you next time.